My name is Talley. I currently reside in the States, United States, live in Newark, Delaware. So I left Liberia here sometime late 1999, maybe early 2000. Then I moved to Ghana, stayed there maybe about 8 months or so. And we got in the US sometime around July of 2000. So I've been out of Liberia for about 25 years now, going on 26 years.
So tell me about you coming back to Liberia after 25 years. What were you thinking?
Well, as many of you know, I left Liberia here when I was about maybe four or 5 years old. So I didn't really have any kind of memory to really go off of. So I didn't really know what to expect, honestly. You know, back there in the States, growing up there, sometimes it's almost as though they make you feel about where you come from. And especially me being so young when I left here, I didn't really know what to expect. So before I made this trip, I watched a lot of videos on Liberia, even Emmanuel Couture. I follow you on YouTube, you know. I watch all your videos of those county diaries and different places you explore in Liberia. And by watching those videos, it helped me put in mind of what to expect of Liberia, even though it's been so long. So thank you, Emmanuel, for those county diaries, for really opening up my eyes to my country and helping me to see what I could look forward to when I came here. And honestly, I haven't been disappointed yet.
Let's talk about your experience at the airport and then driving to Monrovia.
Wow. My experience when we landed, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that was Liberia, the airport. I heard that some work was done. So it was looking decent. It was looking nice. And when we touched down at the airport, I said, wow, I am finally back home after 20 plus years. So I was lost of words. I didn't really know what to say at that point. It's good to be back home.
Is it your first time?
Been a long time since I left.
Wow.
We're talking 25 plus years. Good to be back home.
What do you make of the area?
I like the area. I didn't know what to expect.
Okay, so let's talk about why you decided to. I mean, is it your first time since 25 years?
Yes, since I left late 1999, first time being back.
And what is your purpose?
My purpose of coming back here, well, again, I left as a young child. You know, my mother, I was taken away from my mother. She was in the village at the time. They brought us here to the city. And then eventually to go to America. So the last time I probably seen my mother, maybe it was when I was about 4 or 5 years old. So any of you parents out there, you can imagine what it would feel like not seeing your last born child for 20 plus years. And, you know, when my brother made a trip in 2016, that's all she kept telling him. Why you didn't bring your little brother? Why you didn't bring him? And he said to them, he's a grown man. I can't pick him up and bring him. So when he went back to the state, he said, man, we have to go see our Oma. You know, she's getting very older. And, you know, every time we talk, she wanted me to bring you. She wanted to see you. So after years of planning, you know, I was glad that we made this trip so I can come and see my mother.
Here we go.
Oh, come on here. Oh.
Morning.
What? Chaco. Oh, my
And seeing your mom walking into that compound, seeing your mom, tell me about the feelings.
It was a lot of mixed emotions. You know, like I said, I left her 4 or 5 years old. I really don't have much memory of her, so I don't really know what to expect. You know, but it was a lot of emotions, you know, very sad. And then at one point I was happy to see her. And then also just I couldn't believe she got in there. Oh, the small memory of her I had was when she was a little younger than what she is. So to see her in the condition she is in now, it made me feel a little sad. But I also understand that's part of life. We all have to grow old. So a lot of mixed emotion, as you will see in the documentary.
I see you also visited your hometown. Tell me about your visit to that place.
Well, the same thing. Not much memory, but I vaguely remember us walking from Magibi, Kagata uh, to a certain place. My brother will know because he was older, but I remember us walking for like 10, 11 hours all day. And the purpose was they were taking us from the village to bring us to the city, Monrovia, so we can get acclimated to the city and learn some English and then eventually go to Ghana and then come to America. So just going back now, driving those same roads, I said, wow. And seeing how far the village is from the city, I said to myself, I can't believe we walked this area for 10, 11 hours straight, So um, it's amazing, just to be back on that same ground and seeing those things and just some small memories coming back. Couldn't believe that we actually walked from our village to where we walk all day.
Let's talk about after the village, your experience in Monrovia.
My experience in Monrovia has been an eye-opening, to say the least. This place remind me of a tropical area. When you're in America, they shed a bad light on Africa. Because of the condition of the country, and they make it almost seem as if Africa don't own or have many beautiful places. But when you come and see the actual place, right now we're currently sitting behind very, very nice beach with lots of palm trees and coconut trees around it. So Liberia itself has a lot of beautiful places around here that you can go to, enjoy yourself and have fun, just like any other island in this world. So any misconception that people might have about Liberia, that is not true. Come and see it for yourself.
You want to tell us some of the places that you visited in Monrovia?
Man, I remember that Monday that we went to the Waterside Market. That place remind me of New York. Everybody, if you know anything about New York, everybody's hustling. Everybody's on the street hustling, trying to make money, selling their stuff. And so when I got there, it just put me in mind of New York. Everybody's on the market, they're selling, they're trying to make business, they're just hustling. There's really no difference from New York to certain parts of Liberia, especially that market that we was on Monday. And it really amazes me how those places can have so much in common.
You had any kind of scary moments in Liberia?
We had quite a few scary moments. I know Fred had talked about it, but one of the most outstanding moment was, we went to West Point. We saw the condition of the people, and they live in the slums, very bad. So the three of us, we said, okay, let's give the people something after seeing the condition it was in. So we pulled out some money and we gave it to the elder old lady, and we said, take this money, share it between you and all the other women, and then the other money we gave it to some of the men that was there. Well, the issue was the men got real aggressive and hostile, and they started getting real antsy, right? And of course we got nervous. We're talking about at least 50, 70, 80 men surrounding us. At one point in time, they even surround our driver. They ready to take that man down. So I had to go in there and really physically pull our driver, as you guys will see, pull our driver from that scuffle. And I tell our man, go, because we're not leaving out of there without him. He has the key, he's our driver. So we get him out of there. We're going through the crowds with all that commotion going on, only for us to get in the car and all the guys surround our car. We have about 50 to 60 men surrounding the car now. Now we're in big trouble. And the whole time I was thinking, I said, I hope these people don't slash our tire, because if they slash the tire, we definitely ain't going nowhere. So after some back and forth, going back and forth with them for another 10 minutes, we gave them something small again for them to back away from the vehicle so we can get up out of there. So that was one of the highlights, a very interesting moment, to say the least, that I've experienced on this trip so far.
Okay, let's talk about the people, the food, and the country as a whole. What did you enjoy?
I love the food. If any of y'all who know me, y'all know I like to eat. There's nothing like eating fresh food. You know, back home in the States, before we get our food, our fruits, pesticide, and it's been shipped from one place to another. By the time you get and eat it, all the vitamin, all the good nutrients, all of those things have dried out. But to be here, to see the coconut tree that I'm even looking at now, to have mango, to have watermelon, all those things are fresh from the tree. You know, you just pick and you eat it, and I've never had fresh pineapple as I did, and that's one of the things I enjoy about this place here. The food is just so rich and fresh, and when you eat it, you get all the nutrients. You know, so that's one thing I really appreciate about this trip, just to be back here and eat real natural food.
How about the people?
The people, they're just like any other people in the world. Everybody's trying to make a living, you know. It's just unfortunate that living in a third world country, they don't have a lot of many resources that other countries would have. So it's a little tougher for them to make ends meet. You know, most people on average maybe live on $2 or $3 a day. That's what they're living on, and they have to sell whatever they're selling in the market for them to eat. You know, so their grind, their hustle is different from what we do in the States. You know, we go to work, we clock in, work 8-10 hours, we clock out. We know 2 weeks time we're gonna get paid. Over here on this side, that's really not the case. So it saddens me to see the condition some of these people are in. Again, being a third world country, the country's still building, they're still working on infrastructure, but we know that eventually, you know, things will get better in the future for Liberia.
You want to say another thing?
Yes, like I said previously, this whole trip has been an eye-opener. I was not expecting Liberia to be like how it is, in the sense of the much beauty that it has. Again, because being raised down there in America, when you go to school, they taint your mind, you know, paint all these African countries as if it has nothing to offer. But Africa is so rich in soil, diamond and mineral, even tires that we have on our cars. That's a big rubber farm that we pass when we're actually going to our village, and then use those rubber farm to make the tires. So Africa has a lot to offer to America, even to the world, and we just want people to not take these misconceptions and just take it and run with it, but really come explore and experience this place for yourself and come to see what it has to offer. Another thing as well, Emmanuel, I want to thank you again, like I said before. Watching your videos and following you on YouTube has prepared me for this trip. You know, so I didn't come here blindly, but it was you and your documentary that you've been putting together has really opened my eyes, and it prepared me for this trip. So I want to thank you. I also want to thank you for the great job you're doing, you know, letting people know of what Liberia has to offer as far as the beauty that it has. So I want to personally thank you. You know, it took a lot for us to get you. You know, first time I tried to reach you, I've seen you a long email, but he never responded. Then I sent another text through WhatsApp, and I didn't hear nothing. I said, man, that man is playing game with me. But every time I watch your video, I love how you interacted with the people that you was, recording, and how excited you are. So I said, man, I told my brother, I said, we have to do everything we can to get it manual. So he said, let me try. So when he tried, I don't know what he said to you to convince you, but he got you. So we're glad that we got you. Want to thank Eli and his wife for helping us through this trip, making things a little easier for us. Want to thank our driver, Jeff, one of the best drivers here that Liberia has. He's a great driver. And we want to thank our whole team, everybody who's been part of this experience that helped us navigate this 2-week trip, and everything has ran smoothly thanks to y'all.